regards to Amnesty International. We have a pending issue with Amnesty International, during which we extended an invitation to them. We extended an invitation to them for us to look at some allegations that they level against the military, which we found to be very shocking and misleading and unfortunate. We are waiting for them. And now that they've come up with another request, we will take advantage of when they honor that invitation to show them what they have requested to see. So the ball is in their court. We await Amnesty International. Next is the issue of report of happenings in Benue. What I want to say is this. Many of the things that we have witnessed in this outgoing year 2024, it is a sign of the major defeat of the terrorists in 2025. You see, I'm smiling. And what are some of those things? I just told you we killed over 10,000 terrorists on the battlefield this year. We arrested over 12,000 of them. I've reeled out the quantum of weapons that we recovered and destroyed, as well as ammunition from these terrorists. Let me tell you, let me add that before now, the surrendering that we had in this country was only in the northeast. We are now recording surrendering in the northwest, the north central. This is indicative of the lowering motivation of the terrorists. And even as we bring this overwhelming military pressure upon them, they will continue to surrender. In the specific situation in Benue that you mentioned, we have troops on the ground. We have arrested several of them and taken several of them out. Watch out in 2025, as victory is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Thank you. As for the issue of the, you said high-handedness in the Southeast operation, there were no specifics. And so I don't know how to go about it. But
sir, should I highlight that?
what I want to tell you is in the conduct of war, sometimes there's some form of discomfort. We're not happy that these things happen, but sometimes they need to happen. And I will explain. If you're operating in the northern part of the country, because of the terrain, the nature of the terrain, you can stand from here and see 400 meters, 500 meters, even almost 1,000 meters. You can see because of the nature of the terrain. This affects your deployment. But when you go to the southeast, because of the nature of the terrain, with the vegetation. You cannot do that. Because if you give that space, you're giving space for the terrorists to operate. So you have to close in and put those checkpoints closer so that when there's anything, there's quicker reaction. Will citizens be inconvenienced? The sad answer is yes. But it is for the purpose of what? Security. So we continually try to look at that balance. We continually try to look at where we can improve on our operations in order to make Nigerians feel much more better. So some of these things are not intentionally to hurt the citizens. These are people that don't have integrity. These are people that kill innocent citizens. These are people that don't have respect for law or regulation. It will be insulting to try to put our words beside theirs. It will be insulting to do that. And I will say that, please, don't give in to terrorist propaganda. Don't give in to terrorist propaganda. If things have happened with that bombing that took place in the Northwest on the Christmas Day, and you are hearing different words going out, you think that the terrorists will be happy that we bombed them? They will, of course, put up a propaganda. Don't feed into their propaganda, please. We have to be circumspect. All right. I have said it and I'll repeat it. I don't even want to call his name. But what I will say is that, look, there's nothing new. Before him, all these terrorist leaders that we are seeing today, before them, there were some that thought that they were champion upon champion. Where are they? They are buried. They are dead. And I assure you that those of them that are leaders today, commanders or whatever they call themselves, just watch out. I will, from this platform, tell you we have buried them on the battlefield. Because that is their fate in 2025. They are dead men walking. C'est fini. During the course of the year, troops eliminated over 1,000 notable terrorist leaders, as well as their replacements. We eliminated also their commanders and combatants, among others. We also assure that similar fates await those parading themselves as terror leaders and commanders today. Persons like Bello Turji, take it from me, is merely a dead man walking, as he will soon follow suit with many others that have been eliminated during the course of the year. To refresh your memory, I will read out some of the names of notable terrorist leaders that we've taken out since January this year. Persons like Halilu Sububu, Duse Menasara Ida, Malam Saleh Umaru, Mohammed Amadou, Abubakar Musa, Adamu Tanko Ibrahim, Yellow Dogon Rakumi, Isia Boderi, and Alhaji Baldu. Others are Usman Modi, Kachala Halilu, Kachala Tukur, Amir Ibrahim Bukar, Seidu Hassan Yellow, Bakura Jega, Abba Tukur, among several others. I will say that we will not hesitate to defend the country from terror attacks with overwhelming military force in order to continue to deliver tangible benefits for all Nigerians to see and witness. To this end, during the year, we neutralized over 10,937 terrorists. We arrested over 12,538 of them, while rescuing over 7,063 rescued hostages. Now, this is significant in terms of degrading the military capabilities as well as the fighting capabilities of these terrorists. Additionally, troops recovered over 8,815 weapons, over 228,000 ammunition, even as we denied the oil theft of an estimated sum of 68 billion naira since January this year. Now, this is indicative of how our operations contribute in boosting the daily crude oil production of our nation and improve the nation's revenue. The breakdown of recoveries made from the terrorists in the course of the year are as follows. We recovered over 4,332 AK-47 rifles, over 1,244 locally fabricated guns, over 838 den guns, 259 pump-action guns, and over 29,000 assorted ammunition, among other items recovered. As I earlier mentioned, we also recovered over 56 million liters of stolen crude oil and over 9 million liters of illegally refined AGO, otherwise known as diesel, among other items. Let me now take us through our various operations, beginning with the Northeast, where we have Operation Hadden-Kai. The troops of Operation Hadden-Kai fought intensely against the terrorists all through the year. Indeed, the troops invaded terrorist hideouts, strongholds, and enclaves to flush out terrorists and destroy them wherever they were hibernating in the Northeast theater of operation. Offensive operations were conducted to known terrorist safe havens in Sambisa Forest, Timbuktu Triangle, as well as the Tumbus, which is along the Lake Chad Basin. Several terrorist leaders, commanders, and their families surrendered as a result of the intensity of troops operations. The operations also saw the neutralization of several terrorist commanders, some of who are, to refresh your memory again, we took out persons like Amir Gering Mazu, Husseini Ardo, Habu Muhammad, Buba Kachala, Bukar, among others. Additionally, troops rescued, kidnapped hostages, and arrested terrorist collaborators in the course of their operations. Overall, since January to date, troops of Operation Hadinke neutralized 3,151 terrorists, arrested over 2,500 of them, even as they rescued over 1,600 kidnapped hostages in the course of the year. Additionally, the troops recorded 16,171 surrendered terrorists, combatants, and their family during the course of the year. The summary of recovered items include over 1,800 AK-47 rifles, over 446 fabricated rifles, over 438 den guns, and over 378 assorted arms, among others. Next is the North Central, where we have Operation Safe Haven. The troops of Operation Safe Haven significantly restored peace in the plateau through their operations. The operations resulted in the neutralization of several terrorists and violent extremist leaders, commanders, and combatants in the course of the year. Additionally, troops in fierce contact with violent extremists and terrorists neutralized several terrorists, which include Mohammed Sani Kawu Haman, Malam Abubakar Muhammad, Malam Yau Adamu, Daihiru Idi alias Yellow, among several others that were neutralized in the North Central Theater of Operation. Troops also rescued several kidnapped hostages and arrested suspected violent extremists as well as gun runners. The offensive posture of the troops secured the release of several kidnapped hostages and significantly curtailed the activities of the terrorists and violent extremists operating within that theater of operation. Overall, the troops of Operation Safe Haven neutralized 447 violent extremists. They arrested 1,995 of them and rescued 1,094 kidnapped hostages in the course of their operations during the year. The troops also recovered 254 AK-47 rifles. That said, as we have shown against the terrorists in several arenas, we will defend our nation's territorial integrity and secure our citizens against terrorists. Many of what we have witnessed in this year, 2024, is a sign of major defeat of the terrorists in the new year, 2025. The military high command indeed draws a lot of comfort from our troops in the field, given that they are in high spirits, they are fully committed, they are devoted, and they believe in the justness of the cause. We are also of the conviction that there is no other alternative but victory. Consequently, I will inform you that we are inching towards a clear and decisive victory over these terrorists that have ravaged our land and killed our citizens. In the coming year, we are proud that we are willing to go the extra mile to get the job done. Decisive victory. On the whole, citizens must know that this war is not just for the armed forces alone, but for all of us, even as ordinary citizens. The military, therefore, needs more of citizen support in winning the war. Please. Thank you.